welcome to today's mat yoga practice. We're going to be on the floor for today's practice, so go ahead and set yourself up so you have a little bit of space. If you have a blanket or a pillow nearby that you want to use, or a pet that wants to be part of the action, go ahead and get everything set up for yourselves. We're going to start out on your backs, so go ahead and find that place where you can lay down onto your back, where you feel supported in your low back. It doesn't matter what position your legs are in to begin. Today's practice, we're really going to focus in on this abdominal low back area. So just take a minute to feel your body here. Maybe put one hand on your belly and the other hand on your chest or just below your rib cage, so that you can begin to become aware of the flow of your breathing. You don't have to change anything. If you can, breathe through your nose. But just take a minute to bring your attention into your body. And notice this space around your belly, all the way around, wrapping around your back. So you feel this space in your body. And just noticing how you feel today in this space. Finding that soft, easy breathing. Now we're going to start by moving the spine. You can keep your arms down by your sides. I'm going to move my arms so you can see my spine just a little bit. So what you're going to do is when you inhale, think about pushing your rib cage, your chest, toward the ceiling. And then when you exhale, really pull that belly button in. Think about rolling your spine toward the floor, just finding that little bit of space in your low back. So as you inhale, your back relaxes, you're pushing your chest toward the ceiling. The entire time you exhale, you're really activating those abdominal muscles, contracting especially from your pubic bone to your belly button. Take another couple of breaths. You go at your speed. Just feel that little movement along your spine, gently waking up those abdominal muscles. One more breath if it feels okay. Again, finding that place that it always feels okay, so you're not pushing yourself too much. Now with your arms down by your sides, we're going to continue that little movement of your spine. We're going to add lifting the arms. So on your next inhale, at the same time, lift your arms toward the ceiling and then all the way to the floor above your head. Really think about pushing your rib cage toward the ceiling. The entire time you exhale, bring your arms to your sides. Really think about flattening your low back, pulling that belly button in. Now move at the speed of your breathing. Inhale, feeling all that space across your chest. The entire time you exhale, arms come to your sides, pulling that belly button in. Now breathe at your own speed. Really notice that action through the space around your abdomen, your low back. I'm going to do one more. You move at the speed of your breathing, just finding that easy movement in your body. And then next time your arms are down by your sides, go ahead and let those arms rest. Let your spine relax. Now hopefully you've woken up your back just a little bit. And again, we want to focus on these abdominal muscles. So bring your knees in towards your chest. Your hands are resting on your kneecaps here. You're not using your arms. We're really going to focus on using those abdominal muscles. So when you exhale, think about bringing your knees in towards your belly, contracting your abdominal muscles that little bit. And then when you inhale, press your thighs away from your chest until your arms are straight. Your hands are just resting on your knees, kind of guiding your knees. So exhale, pulling that belly button in. Inhale, pressing your thighs away from your chest. I'm going to have you do a few more like this. Notice if that on that exhale, if your knees start to go wide, see if you can keep your knees closer together, really pulling them in towards your belly. Even if they don't go as far, that's okay. Just repeat this little wake up for your abdominal muscles. At the end of your next exhale, with your thighs in towards your belly, keep your thighs in this position. If you like, lift your head up towards your knees, making that abdominal wake up all the way up to your rib cage. And then set your shoulders and your head down onto the floor. Set your feet down onto the floor. And as you bring your feet to the floor, just make sure there's a little space between your feet, a little space between your knees. Your arms get to rest by your sides. Take a second here, relaxing your abdominal muscles. Bring your attention down to your feet. Just doing a little awareness, a little wake up. Think about pressing your big toes into the floor, just a tiny bit, like 10% of your effort. And then relax the tension at your toes. We're going to do it again. A little press at your toes. Breathe however you want. And then let your toes relax. Let's do it one more time. Just a little press at your big toes. Waking up your awareness down through your feet, your toes. And then let your big toes relax. Maybe lift your toes and wiggle your toes a little bit. And then set your toes back to the floor. Find that place where you can press those big toes into the floor, just that little bit. At the same time, lift the arches of your feet. Now you can relax your feet, relax your toes. Again, this is just awareness. It's a subtle movement. Pressing your big toes into the floor. Feel the arches of your feet lifting. Maybe notice how that shifts up your legs. And then relax your feet, relax your toes. You can wiggle those toes again if you need to. Readjust your feet if necessary. Because this time you're going to press those big toes into the floor, lifting the arches of your feet just a little. Keep your feet active. Keep this action in your feet. You're going to add lifting the hips. Arms get to stay down by your sides. So on your next inhale, keep those feet active. Lift your hips. Try and keep your chin toward the ceiling. Don't look left or right. When you exhale, roll your spine down, one joint at a time. Really pull that belly button in as you roll down. So repeat this movement. Feet are active. Inhale, lifting your hips, relaxing your neck. Exhale, roll your spine down, one joint at a time. So what we're doing is on that inhale, you're clenching your glutes, waking up your hamstrings, waking up the muscles of your low back, just gently. And then when you lower down, use your abdominal muscles to control the descent so you can release the muscles of your back as you come down. If you can, two more. It doesn't matter how high you lift. But on that exhale, really think about pulling your belly button in, engaging your abdominal muscles so you can roll your spine down, one joint at a time. I'm going to do one more. Exhale, using those abdominal muscles, rolling all the way down. And then when your hips touch the floor, let your hips rest on the floor. Maybe feel those glutes now. And then bring both knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees in towards your chest. You get that little stretch on your hips, your low back. Now you have some options. You can hold your legs for this next move. We're really focusing on the legs. If you're feeling frisky, we're going to get the arms and the legs to do this at the same time. So just pay attention. On your next inhale, see if you can straighten both legs toward the ceiling. Bring both arms all the way to the floor above your head. So you're extending through your legs, extending through your arms. And then when you exhale, bend your knees in towards your belly. Bring your arms all the way down by your sides. Kind of reach toward the foot of your mat. So when you inhale, extending your legs, lifting those arms. As you exhale, really pull your belly button in, reaching toward the foot of your mat. At the same time, you bring your knees in towards your belly. Do this a few more times. Again, just pace your movement to match the speed of your breathing. I'm going to do two more. On that exhale, engaging your abdominal muscles. One more time, lift your arms, lift your legs. Your legs don't have to go perfectly straight. And then when you bring your knees in towards your chest, this time wrap your arms around your legs and maybe just rock a little bit from side to side. Notice the space across your lower abdomen, your low back. You probably woke some stuff up there. So bring your feet to the floor and open your feet a little wider than hip distance. I like this twist after that extension just because it releases my hip flexors and my low back a little bit. So you pay attention to where you feel it. What we're going to do is when you exhale, both knees are going to go to one side, chin goes to the opposite. Again, you can have that gentle contraction through your abdomen as you exhale. The entire time you inhale, untwist. And then exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, untwisting. So repeat. The entire time you exhale, you're twisting. The entire time you inhale, untwisting. Just feel your body. Find the space that feels good. No rush, no forcing. I'm going to do one more time on each side. Again, you pay attention to your own body. Just moving at the speed of your breathing. Now when you come back to that center spot, after you twisted both sides equally, what we're going to do is just bring those feet close together. So your big toes are touching each other, your heels are together. On your next inhalation, open those knees wide away from each other. Feel that little stretch on the inside muscles of your legs. And again, notice that little curve in your back. On your exhale, simultaneously bring your knees together, pulling your belly button in, flattening your low back. So find a rhythm that fits your breath. The entire time you inhale, knees go wide, just that little arch. And you might feel it a little bit lower in your back this time. Exhale, bringing your knees together, pulling your belly button in. Just move at the speed of your breathing. This particular movement is really good for balancing the inside muscles and the outside muscles of your legs and waking up those hips a little bit. Now the next time your knees are wide away from each other, if you can, let your knees stay wide, bring the soles of your feet toward each other. And as you adjust your body, find a spot where your ankles feel comfortable. All right? Body's going to stay in this position. All we're going to do is as you inhale, gently press your big toes, the soles of your feet toward each other. Again, 10% of your effort. And then when you exhale, relax. So if you notice that everything's shaking, that's too much. Don't push that hard. So the entire time you inhale, just pressing the soles of your feet, your big toes toward each other. And then exhale, relaxing. Maybe just one more time like that. Just feeling that little action through your feet, your legs, all the way up to your groin. And then as you exhale, let everything relax. Try and keep your legs in this position. Find that passive stretch on the inside muscles of your legs. And now we're going to focus on the glutes. So as you inhale, gently clench those butt cheeks tight. The entire time you exhale, relax. Oh, this may be the first time you've moved your glutes on purpose today, so it might be a little sketchy. That's okay. Inhale, clenching. Exhale, relaxing. Just feel your body. Whatever you're noticing today, that's where you are. Give yourself some space. We're going to do it one more time. Just clenching those glutes. And then relaxing. All right, now if you can, keep your legs in this position. Glutes relax. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together behind your back. So you're really opening up across your chest as you inhale. And then when you exhale, relax that space around your shoulder blades. Let's do it again. Inhale, squeezing your shoulder blades together behind your back. Exhale, relaxing. One more time. Inhale, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Exhale, relaxing. All right, now slowly, gently bring your knees all the way together so the soles of your feet can press into the floor. Find that place where you can press your big toes into the floor just that little bit, lifting the arches of your feet. Think about flattening the curve of your low back toward the floor here. Now when you do this, you're not really engaging your abdominal muscles as much as you're pushing down through your feet, just that little bit. So you can stretch, you can find that little bit of space in your low back. So keep pressing your feet into the floor. Continue to squeeze your knees together, flattening your low back. We're going to add one more piece. Just press the back of your neck toward the floor here. Give yourself as many chins as you can breathe around. Finding that stretch along the back of your neck. And then relax your neck. Relax your low back, relax your legs. Bring your knees in towards your chest, hands on your legs, and just take your knees in big, slow circles here. Now we're not doing a whole lot of work here, but maybe just feel that little massage at your hips, your sacrum, your low back. Breathe however you need. And then go ahead and take your circles in the opposite direction. Remind yourself to slow down. Sometimes we get really excited and go really fast here. And then you can't quite feel all the action that's happening around your hips, your low back. All right. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe lift your head up towards your knees here, curling yourself up. And then just let your shoulders, your head rest on the floor. And let your feet come back down to the floor. All right, now I'm going to invite you to roll over onto your hands and knees. Take your time. We're going to be here for a minute, so if you need to make a little extra fold in your mat, so you have a little extra cushion in your knees, go ahead and set that up. Hands can come to the floor here, and we're just going to start by moving the spine. Now, some of you may have gone to classes where you do cat-cow, where you're round in your back, and then you just let your belly flop. We want to inhibit that belly flop. We want to just come to a neutral spine. So your lower abdomen is always engaged, just that little bit. So exhale, really pull your belly button in, aiming for this spot along your low back. Luckily my shirt keeps moving so you can see that spot, it's highlighted. And then when you inhale, flatten your back. If your wrists are really cranky, this is a good time to come down onto your elbows. And then just focus on that low back. So you're really pulling your belly button in when you exhale. And then flattening your spine when you inhale. Find this movement. Find that space in your body. Nice and easy. All right, on your next exhale, go ahead and push your hips back towards your heels as far as it feels good. Elbows to the floor, forehead toward the floor. Just find a space where you can relax your shoulders, relax your wrists. Someplace you can still breathe though. All right, maybe take another breath, letting gravity do the work. Just feeling that stretch across your low back, your hips. And then we're gonna come all the way down onto our bellies. So, adjust as you need, coming down onto your stomach, and then bring your arms to your sides. You can rest on one side of your face or your forehead, whatever feels good for you today. And take a breath here. Just feel your body relaxing toward the floor that little bit. Now you're going to bring your attention to your legs. See if you can open your feet just a little wider than your mat. If you're not quite centered on your mat, you can adjust your legs so your legs feel evenly wide. Now good news, your legs, your feet stay touching the floor. If your feet are really crampy, you can always come onto the balls of your feet. But legs stay touching the floor. On your next inhale, we're just lifting the upper body, squeezing your shoulder blades together. You may notice your glutes clenching a little bit, that's okay. When you exhale, lower everything down. So we're going to do this a couple more times. Inhale, lifting, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Little bit of action at your glutes. Exhale, lowering down. It really doesn't matter how high you lift. Just find that room, find that space that feels good for you. Maybe one more. All right, the next time you're resting on the floor, let everything stay. Resting on the floor, just breathe. Now you're gonna bring your legs just a little closer together so they're parallel. Just a little space between your knees, a little space between your feet, and we're gonna move the hands. So if you can't, bring your hands up by your shoulders so your palms are on the floor, your elbows are on the floor. You wanna find a place to start where your shoulders, your neck are relaxed. All right, here's the big challenge in this movement is not to push with the hands on the floor. You're still using those muscles of your back. We're gonna do a little left-right connection here. So on your next inhalation, at the same time, you're gonna lift your head, your chest that little bit, extend through your right arm, and lift your opposite leg. When you exhale, bend your elbow back, lower everything down. And then we're gonna do the other side. So left arm and right leg lifting just that little bit. Exhale, coming back down, relaxing, pulling your belly button in. Now as you do this, notice that when you inhale, you're strengthening diagonally across your back. When you exhale, think about pulling your belly button away from the floor, lifting your belly button up. See if you can find that rhythm. Connecting with your breathing. I'm going to do one more on each side. And you go at the speed of your breathing. So the next time everything's resting on the floor, just stay there. Take a breath. Check in with your body. Now since we're really focusing on this low back, you might be feeling it right now. So if you like, you can come back up onto your hands and knees and sit back in a child's pose or just round your back, finding that little bit of space along your back. As always, you can stay resting here, but if you're feeling frisky, we can do one more round of back bends. So coming back down onto your belly, arms down by your sides. See if you can bring your legs together here. So here's the challenge, folks. It's a little bit of work on this one. It's kind of like doing a jumping jack. When you inhale, you're lifting your head, your chest, opening your legs wide, sweeping your arms out to the sides, reaching forward. There's a lot happening all at once. And then when you exhale, you're coming back to the starting spot. You don't have to lift very high. So inhale, lifting, opening your legs, sweeping your arms forward. You can just do the leg part. You can just do the upper body part. If it's feeling okay, choose your poison. We're going to do two more. It's always hard when you have stuff in the way, so just be gentle with yourself. Let's do one more. So the next time you're resting on the floor, let everything relax. There can be space between your legs. And then we're going to come right up and find the stretch along your back. So either rounding your back or sitting back into child's pose. But try and find a place where gravity's doing most of the work. And take a couple of breaths. Every time you exhale, you can pull your belly button in. Feel that release along the muscles of your back. All right, and then we're going to come back up onto your hands and knees. So I don't know if you guys like pigeon, but we're going in a pigeon way. So you can start by just bringing your right knee forward an inch or two. Everybody do this. And then push your hips straight back. When you do this, it's going to feel a little awkward, but it's just kind of warming us up. Try and relax your shoulders, relax your neck. And then you're going to come back up onto your hands and knees. If you can, bring that right knee forward a little bit more. And then if you're feeling frisky, you can bring that right knee forward towards your hands. You can even rotate your right knee out to the right side. You find a spot where your right leg feels good. If your foot starts to cramp, adjust. You can even move that left leg back a little bit. Now we're going to do a little work here. So try not to have too much weight on your arms. You're not really using your arms. We're using the muscles of our back again. As you exhale, you're going to fold over your right knee. When you inhale, use those muscles of your back to lift your head, your chest. You can even lift your hands if you like. When you exhale, fold forward. Now we're going to repeat this movement. Even if you just lift a little bit, you still get some action. Exhale, folding forward, relaxing as you exhale. If you can, 2 more. You go at the speed of your breathing. Maybe 1 more time. The next time you're folding forward, get those elbows on the floor. And then you get to stay there. I got excited. So you can stay here for a breath or 2 or 7. If it's too much, if any part of your body is cramping, you back off. Maybe 1 more breath. Just find the space that your body needs here. Relaxing. All right, and then what you're going to do is come back up onto your hands and knees. And then you get to choose. If you love down dog, you can lift your knees up, push your hips straight back, just stretching out the backs of your legs. If you don't love down dog, if your shoulders aren't a fan, just step your right leg straight back. So you can stretch your right calf, your right foot, behind that right knee. And then we're going to bend both knees to the floor and bring your attention over to this left leg. So just bring your left knee forward an inch or 2. It's probably less than you think. And push your hips back. Let your elbows come to the floor. And just feel the stretch here. It should feel a little awkward. But take a breath or 2, kind of sinking into this stretch. As always, ripping, tearing, shooting, cramping pain is too far. And then when you're ready, you're going to come back up onto your hands and knees. And bring that left knee forward as much as you like. You choose. Take your time. Rotating your left knee if you need to, maybe walking that right leg back a little bit. Find a spot where your hips feel comfortable already. And then all we're going to do is when you exhale, you're folding over your left knee. As you inhale, lift through your head, your chest. Try and use the muscles of your back, not your hands. And then when you exhale, fold forward. Now you don't have to get fancy. Your fingers can stay touching the floor. Just avoid pushing with your arms. I'm going to do 2 more. You get to choose, paying attention to what your body needs here. Maybe 1 more time. And then folding forward, bend your elbows to the floor and find a place where you can hang out. Try and relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Take a few breaths, finding that place, that space where gravity is doing the work for you. If you need to come out of this earlier than I do, that's okay. A big stretch. All right, now we're going to come back up onto your hands and knees. You get to choose. You can do down dog here if it feels good. Maybe even pedal out from side to side. If your wrists or your shoulders don't love down dog, just step that left leg straight back so you can push back through your heel. Finding the stretch at the back of your knee or calf. All right, and then you're going to bend both knees and shift your body to come into a seated position. And adjust everything that you need to adjust. Since we're playing at home, if you want to sit on a cushion or a pillow or even a little blanket to give your hips a little elevation so your hips are not so crunched, do that. that. Take care of yourself. And then stretch your legs straight out in front of you. Let me give you a little diagonal here. So we're just going to start with a little forward bend. Your knees do not have to be perfectly straight. Hands can come to your legs. As you inhale, get tall. And then when you exhale, really contract through your abdomen. Try and keep your spine long, folding forward. So don't reach, don't round your back here. And then inhale, just sit up. So exhale again. Think about pulling that belly button in, engaging those abdominal muscles. Inhale, just sit all the way up. We're going to do 2 more. Okay, one last time, folding forward. And then sit all the way up. All right, if you can, you're going to bend your right knee and just set that right foot flat onto the floor. And then reach your arms out in front of you here. Think about your thumbs being even with each other. You can even touch your thumbs together here. What we're going to do is a twist. So when you exhale, you're twisting across your bent knee. Try and keep your thumbs even with each other. And then when you inhale, untwist. Again, pay attention to your body. If any part of your body doesn't like this round, skip it. Exhale, twisting, so you're really pushing out through that left hand just a little bit more. Inhale, untwisting. Maybe 2 more. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, untwisting. Okay, last one. We're going to go into this twist, and then see if you can bring that right hand to the floor behind you. You can hold your left knee with your opposite hand. If you're feeling super frisky, super bendy today, you can cross your elbow out on the outside of your right knee. Now when you inhale, get tall. And then as you exhale, just lead with that right shoulder, twisting to the right. Ripping, tearing, shooting, cramping, pain, still too far. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, twist your shoulders and your chin to the right. Inhale, just get tall. Exhale, twist your shoulders, your chin, even look out of the right corners of your eyes. Breathing easy. Now keep your shoulders turning right. Turn your chin the opposite direction. Just take a breath here. And then turn your chin all the way to the right. And then you get to untwist. Come all the way forward. If you like, you can walk your hands down your legs, finding that even stretch along your back. You stay facing the direction you are. I'm just going to give you the sideline for the other leg. All right. So when you're ready, bend your left knee. Your foot can be flat on the floor. Now, if your hip's really cranky, move your foot out to the side a little bit. Gives you a little bit more space through your hips. Start with your arms across that straight leg, thumbs even with each other. As you exhale, you're going to twist across your bent knee. Twist to the left. As you inhale, untwist. That's what we're doing. Let's do it again. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, untwisting. Maybe 2 more, just like that. Okay, last one, twisting. And then you can hold your left knee with your right hand. That left hand comes to the floor behind you. If you want, you can bring your left or your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Sorry, I totally lost left and right there. So you find your space. When you inhale, lengthen your spine. Just get tall. And then when you exhale, twist your shoulders to the left, just as far as it feels good. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twisting a little deeper. Let's do 2 more breaths, just like that. Each time you exhale, just twisting a little bit more. Now keep your shoulders turning left. Turn your chin the opposite direction. See, I found it. Keep breathing. And then turn your chin all the way back to the left. 1 more exhale here. And then untwist. Come all the way forward. And instead of folding over your legs, we're going to come all the way onto your back. When you come onto your back, bring both knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Just find that easy stretch for your low back. And then set both feet back down onto the floor. You might be feeling those hip flexors again. Those seated postures are really strong for the hip flexors, and especially since we're focusing on the abdominals, you might really be feeling it. So we're going to stretch them out a little bit. What you're going to do is just walk both feet to the left a little bit and stretch your right leg straight out onto the floor. Now as you find your position for your legs, find a place where your hips, your low back feel comfortable. Both hips, both butt cheeks are resting on the floor. Now your legs get to stay in this position. We're just going to move that right arm. Sorry, I've got the wrong arm to the camera, but you guys will get this. So as you inhale, you're going to raise that right arm toward the ceiling and then all the way to the floor above your head. If you have room, when you exhale, you're going to sweep your right arm out to the side and down alongside your body. You know this movement. Maybe add a little head turn. So at the same time you bring your arm toward the floor above your head, your chin turns toward the ceiling. At the same time, when you exhale, bring your arm out to the side and down. Turn your chin away from your moving arm. So find this rhythm. Inhale, arm to the floor above your head. Feel that big, long stretch down your right side. Exhale, arm comes out to the side and down, turning your chin away from your moving arm so you can find that stretch across the side of your neck. Do this a couple more times. Just paying attention. Nice and easy. All right, the next time your right arm is up alongside your head, keep your arm alongside your head. Take a couple of breaths here. Really find that big stretch down your right side. Maybe press out through the sole of your right foot, reaching out through your right fingertips. And then when you exhale, activate those abdominals again. Really pull your belly button in. Now let your leg, your arm relax. You can bring your arm all the way back down to your side. Bend both knees and walk your feet back to the center. And as you come to the center, you're going to notice how crooked you are, but adjust here at center. And then when you're ready, we'll do the other side. So you're walking your feet to the right just a little, and then stretch that left leg straight out onto the floor. Find a spot where your leg can rest. Both hips, both butt cheeks are just nice and solid on the floor. Now we're going to move the left arm. So inhale, reaching your left arm toward the ceiling and then all the way to the floor above your head. On your exhale, you're sweeping that arm out to the side and down alongside your body. If you like, if you haven't already, you can add that head turn. So as you bring your arm to the floor above your head, chin turns toward the ceiling. At the same time, you sweep your arm out to the side and down. You're turning your chin away from your moving arm. So repeat this movement. Big long stretch down your side on your inhale. Finding that stretch across the side of your neck, the top of your shoulder, every time you exhale. No rush, just moving at the speed of your breathing, finding all that space. The next time your arm is up alongside your head, if it's comfortable, stay here. Just find that big stretch down your side. As you inhale, press out through the sole of your left foot, reaching out through your left fingertips. Every time you exhale, think about pulling your belly button in, flattening your back toward the floor. get to relax your arm, bend your knee and walk your feet back to the center. As you get to that center spot, go ahead and bring both knees in towards your chest again. Wrap your arms around your legs, maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And then set both feet back down onto the floor and take a minute. Now is a good time to check in with your legs, your hips, especially around your abdomen and your low back. If you feel like you need to do one more movement, one more stretch, take this time to take care of yourself. Just notice what you need. And then find a place where your body can relax. Now, here's the deal, folks. We've done a lot of work around your hips, your low back, so it's pretty activated. And now you know the secret to the big silver ball. What you can do is if you have a chair or a stool, or even adjusting yourself on your couch or a stability ball, what you can do is you lay down on your back and put your feet up on top of it. And that way you have a moment to rest where your legs are elevated, your hips, your low back can relax. Now when you're using a stability ball, there might be a little bit of work because it likes to roll a little bit, but just find that place where you can relax. Closing your eyes. Reconnecting to that flow of your breathing. Just notice the normal movement of your body as you breathe. When you inhale, your rib cage expands, your belly pushes out a little bit. Every time you exhale, there's a gentle contraction to your abdomen, pushing the air out. Your rib cage gets to relax. Take a couple of breaths on purpose. Just giving your body a moment to adjust to all the work that we did. Now, if you have time and you want to stay here for longer, absolutely do that. If you like, you can just let the video run out. But what we're going to do is as you come up, you're going to take your time. Moving carefully, moving with awareness. So that as you come into this next movement, you give yourself a minute in a seated position to just transition between all of this work, all of this mat work, and whatever else you get to do today. Maybe congratulate yourself